Your keyboard's cool. Thank you. Yeah, this saves me from tendinitis. I get nasty, awful tendinitis otherwise. Creeps up into my shoulder and my back, and my wrist hurts. I remember like laying there trying to sleep. My first coding job, 6 months in, and just having this pain that was like right across this muscle right here. And after that, I just got really into ergonomics. So I found ways around it, but yeah, it was just not fun. Okay, let's get this part set up. Usually I just have a timer up there, but I think that's kind of lame, so I'd rather just have this up while I'm doing this setup stuff. At least you can see me and hear me. Good. That plays, yes. Awesome. That one's going this one. That looks kind of busted. Oh, this song's annoying. Let's shuffle that. I'm not feeling this playlist. Need more chill. Okay, even more chill. That's what's up. There we go. Okay, that one's up, that one's up. And channel insights. Okay, it's live. Nice. No card in camera. That's new. Alright. Is this one working? I honestly can't tell. I think it is. Live streaming, live streams. Yep, I have no idea. Okay. It's so wild how many of these like require you to go and like click go live. It's like, well, I'm sending you video, right? Like, seems like that would be kind of assumed. Believe it or not, but her keyboard was a single piece before until she started playing Dark Tide on Damnation with randoms. Yeah, true story. Okay, let's do this. Grab this, paste this into here. Copy this, paste this. Save. That'll do it. Yeah, you know it. Alright, this one. And you do this. this on. Activate, yes. Please. Oh, okay, that one's up. It just looks kind of awful. Yeah, alright, nice. Instagram is almost as behind the times as LinkedIn is, believe it or not. Alright, cool. Now if I can just get rid of this no card and camera thing, that would be kind of nice. Save me ChatGPT. Hey, on my camera is supposedly clean 4K output. There's a little thing that says no card and camera. How do I turn that off?
To get rid of that no card message, you'll need to insert a memory card. Some cameras require a card even for clean HDMI output. Once you put in a card, it should disappear. If that doesn't work, double check your HDMI display settings.
Without a no card and camera setting though?
If there's no specific setting for it, inserting a memory card is usually...
Okay. Yeah, I really don't want to do that because it wasn't there before. Okay, R50. Come here, buddy. We're gonna take this. Can you talk to ChatGPT? I didn't know that. Yeah, it's really good, and I don't know. I could ask it anything. Let's see. Hey, I'm streaming right now. One of my viewers named Eddie wants to know if I can talk to you. Is that true?
Hey, yeah, I'm here to chat. What's up?
What kind of things can I ask you?
You can ask me pretty much anything. If you're curious about a topic, need some advice, or just want to chat about something fun, I'm here for it.
Throw me some facts, like high key, show me what's up.
All right, hit me with a topic.
What's the latest in, what was it? Roblox? What was it? Roblox something. There was like a playlist that I was asking about, I think yesterday, Roblox something. There's this, really popular, like, Zoomer playlist or, like, game mode that's getting up now. Could you explain that to me?
Right now, some of the most popular Roblox games are Dress to Impress, which is all about fashion, and Blox Fruits, inspired by One Piece. Brookhaven RP is also still super popular for role-playing. Anything specific you want to know about these?
Nah, not really. I was trying out Monster Hunter Worlds, and I was kind of wondering if maybe Wilds is a better option right now. But I still really favor the mechanical complexity. Maybe that's the way I should have gone.
Monster Hunter Wilds is definitely shaping up to be awesome, but it depends on what you're looking for. If you love the mechanical complexity of Monster Hunter World, you'll probably enjoy Wilds too. It's supposed to expand on that complexity with new monsters, environments, and mechanics. But if you still love World, there's no harm in sticking with it until Wilds drops.
Thanks.
Anytime. Enjoy the hunt.
Pretty cool, huh? Let me know if you want to ask any other questions. There's a few new voices now, too, especially one called Monday, which is, it's kind of like the robot in what do you call it? The Robot and Hitchhiker's Guide, like, oh no, well that's great. Guess we're all gonna die, like that kind of thing. It is so funny. So funny. I can pull that up if you like. Yeah, it is an app. Highly recommend. We'll use a bit of it today for code too. I use the Mac app whenever I get stuck on things now. This latest model, it used to really suck at Rust, but now it's gotten pretty good at it. See, this no card and camera is it's just cramping my style. Like I do not care. Red eye correction. It wasn't there a few seconds ago. There's gotta be a way to remove it, I believe. HDR. There was a thing down here. Where did I find that? Yeah, that's it. This thing. Yeah, this stuff. Edit screen. I'm like trying to guess where the buttons are on the back of the camera as I'm doing this. So it's like super interesting. I'm still here though. You can see my hand. I'll do some little like dance girl things or something. Where is the info button? Okay, let's try editing this one. Okay. Five, 1, 2, info, edit. Okay, menu. What if I do this? I don't know who has SD cards anymore is the thing. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna take this and we're just gonna scoot it over there and pretend like it doesn't exist. There we go. My face is gonna be epically off camera, but whatever. Alright, cool. Fine by me. But now it's doing the weird eye detection thing. I don't want that either. Hey! Now it's all going downhill. Okay, I'm definitely missing a setting in here, or I turned something on or off because it wasn't doing this before. HDR, auto exposure. Lens aberration, white balance. Can we get rid of this? This thing. Lens info. Disable. Disable. I think recording emphasis is what's doing the other thing right now. Okay, does that get it? No. Ah. Oh my gosh. Let me switch to a totally different mode. it's just gonna track my eyes like it's trying to do the autofocus thing. I wanted to do the autofocus, but just not with that. Okay, I'm gonna look it up now. HDMI display. Go to sheet 6. Okay, so it's number 7 on this page. Okay, and that fixes everything. Cool. Alright, chat, we figured it out. Yay, now we're starting like behind schedule, but that's okay. We're starting, that's what counts. Alright, cool. Let's get to it. So if you've been following along with this project, last time we pulled out a lot of stuff and we added a bunch of like verification and MD5 hashing. All of that works, but in the meantime, I shipped it to a few users and they're like, I don't like that it chooses the manifest file for me that we want to verify against, so just have me do it every time. So I was like, okay. So that involved removing like 500 or 600 lines of the code that we wrote last time, and that's fine because it sits in the repo. You know, it's like there if we want it. If they want it back one day, then it can still exist. But let's see how we're doing. I also pulled out all the WASM dependencies, so the binary should be quite a bit smaller this time around as well. Even with the conditional compilation, which is much simpler now. Newly added or file type integrity, that's right. Okay, so what we need to do now is whenever there's like a new file that showed up, not something that was deleted, not something that was changed, but just something that, like, it's like, whoa, where did this thing come from? Right now it's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. We want it to be like, hey, this thing was new, and show that in the GUI. Yeah, here we go. So I'm being super lazy about this. There's probably like a super optimal for loop to make this happen, but we go through, we check every inventoried file. This used to be called summarize. I'm calling it inventory now. We check for every inventory file and we see if it has an entry in the manifest file that we're checking it against. And if it does, then we assess the integrity. And in this function, we see if the MD5 hash matches, and if it doesn't, if that file just doesn't exist, then we just assume that it doesn't match at all because there's nothing to like match against anyway, right? Let's see, where was that? Over here in audit, yeah. So in this first loop, where are we? Let's see, newly. Yeah, so in this first loop we go through and we find everything that's missing or corrupted, everything that's been messed with. And in this second loop, we're going to go through and we're just going to be super lazy and find everything that was unverified, everything that's untouched. Let's say it's newly added, but now we need to update this enum. Let's see, keep this alphabetical, HI, JK, TUV, LMNOP. Newly added. Yeah. Cool, so now that's recognized. But I want to go back and see where we use this. Option F7. We use this in a lot of places. Verified, unverified, auditing. Let's go over here to update in the GUI. Alright, verification failed. That's nice. PQRS TUV, yeah. File integrity newly added. And if we run into this in the GUI, then we want to translate this to new file found. And I really want to be a pedantic developer here and be like, oh my gosh, or XD or something, but new file found, newly discovered, didn't exist, new, what's a good word for that? Is it an app? Yeah, we'll run it in a second here. Once we can run it again, I'll show you how it works. That was our first usage. In progress. Display file integrity. I think we were just there. Yeah. Verified. Nice. Found files, file integrity. That's what I like about Rust Rover, is it also gives you the doc strings too. Unverified. That's where we actually apply it with the conversion. Decided file integrity is true, is not true. Okay, this is if the file path matches and the MD5 matches. We fill out some file integrity detail. That enum and that struct are dangerously close in name. Let's see how it looks. Okay, this is an unused one now. Manifest creation status. These are the changes. Okay. Sweet. So now it's running out of this terminal. See, I'll be able to blow it up a little bit so you can see. That's something else we added too in the last version. We added some zoom. So now we have a light mode, a dark mode, and zoom. And now you can do file and quit, which isn't that exciting. So basically, the way that this works is whenever you're a prosecutor or you're an investigator and you're working on a case, there's a lot of like transferring files around. Not quite evidence, but discovery, which is like proto-evidence. So like, hey, we found some stuff, or we found these files, we found those files, and this isn't just prosecution too. This is also like public defenders. This is defense. This is everybody. Basically, they need to be able to pass these things around. So you generally get this zip file or something that has a bunch of smaller files inside of it, which could be literally anything. It could be bank statements, it could be text messages, it could be files, it could be anything. So, the first thing that we do, and we're speaking in complete sentences here, so this thing's really easy to use. So we choose a folder that we want to, like say we got this, erase folder or something. So we open that, that's already set there, that's fine. We inventory it. And here we can say it's making the inventory. So there's 5,335 seconds, 5,300 files that were all inventoried in about 3,500 seconds. So pretty quick. And for each one, we get an MD5 hash as well. And for those of you unfamiliar, a hash is like a fingerprint of the file. You can't reverse engineer this hash to get what its contents are, but you know that if this hash changes, like if you go into this file and you change like one little thing, this whole hash will be completely different. So that kind of tells us that it's like still the way it was before. And whenever we ran this, it automatically made a manifest file, which is over here, and it's called 2025-4-9-1953. So it's like the year, the month, the day, and then the time right now. In Pacific Coast, it's 7:53, so that's 1953. And we're summarizing a directory called derace, so it's called derace. And this is a CSV file, but since the thing is named Folsom, it's a .folsom.csv. This is our, I wouldn't say a proprietary file type, that's just what we're calling it. So if we want to go look at this, let's say we go here. These are all the CSVs in here. You can see we do this a lot. And we want to do 2025, so 1953. Let's see, I think I can blow this up so you guys can see what's going on here. Make it really big, yeah. Big 1953. Yep, that's it. Cool. And it's just a CSV file, which looks like this. Kind of neat. So here we have like the path, and then there's a comma, and then we have the hash. And even better, if we go in and we... Well, actually, let's do that again. Hey, welcome to the channel design. If we go over here, see, we just opened it with Vim, but let's just open this in Finder, which is way over there right now. But I'll bring it up in, what was it, 53? Whatever, I'll pull up one of them in numbers. And this is basically Apple's version of Excel. So with this, you can see this is how it comes in. This is what our program generated. This is all the stuff. So if you want to go and you want to mess with it, or you want to investigate it further, you can use basic Office tools, basically in Office 365, to go in and see what's up. That is the program. So we also added a thing too where since this thing tries to verify all files before, it would also pick up on its own manifest. So in here it'd always be like, new file added, Folsom, and it's like, yeah, we should just not do that. So now it totally ignores the CSV files in the directory, just to make things simple. Now, I don't have sorting yet on this table, but somewhere in here we should see that there's a newly added file. Well, I guess we haven't added one. Let's see. Hello, how's it going today? Hey, big guy, it's going well. It is a lovely Wednesday. Happy hump day, how are you? Another new file, so let's make another new file and run this again. Doing okay. Alright. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, so let's do this and do touch another, let's see, a shiny new file. Call it shiny new file.txt. Text. Not text. What do you want? TXT. Yeah. So now if we run this again, let's see, we just generated 1953. Okay, as last time we ran that, 4 minutes ago. So if we're going to keep that in mind, 1953, run inventory again. And this time we're going to audit it by selecting 1953. Now it's automatically starts the audit process. That's interesting. Failed audit file missing. And this audit process is never finishing either. That's a fun little bug. Encountered an unexpected integrity state. Assessed integrity when only unverified was expected. So that debug's also busted on line 99 in audit. Yeah, there needs to be a formatted string in order for that to come through. Let's restart it. Assessed integrity. This actually doesn't exist there. Let's see. We're gonna want this so we can display it, see what's up. Is that already moved? Yeah. Ref. Right. Cannot move. We'll clone that out. Swap out assessed integrity for found integrity. I think I started writing a unit test for that. That's really what we should be doing. Not found in file integrity. Okay. Cool. It's gonna keep bringing it up on that other screen, isn't it? Okay, where's our shiny new file? I guess it's not gonna matter. Because this is gonna fail no matter what we pick. 4-9, 40, 48, 53, 58. Audit in progress. There we go. Unexpected integrity state. Verified. When only unverified was expected. Gotcha. Okay, so 100. So if we get down to this match, we're expecting basically everything to be. Yeah, we don't want to error out there. We just want to leave it. Basically, do nothing. Okay, let's simplify this match and do if matches macro. Inventory file dot file integrity and file integrity unverified. Yeah, we'll move this over. We modify this in place, and then otherwise we just don't do anything. Yeah. Let's try again. Come over here, buddy. Boom. There's our shiny new file right there. This is a groove. Let's see, 20-2. 49, 2002, 2003. Let's try that one. Inventory files passed audit. Data integrity verified. Okay. I think we've since created that audit since that happened. Just to make sure, just as a sanity check, let's go and explicitly delete that last one that we just made. Guess I should just keep this terminal open. Actually, you know what? Let's keep it simple. Let's do it inside of here. Let's delete our shiny new file, and then, whoop. Yeah. Okay, so now whenever we inventory again, what was the last manifest that we made? I'm assuming it's going to be like 2003. Let's see. We should just delete a bunch of these. Make it a bit easier on ourselves. Yeah, let's go do that. star.csv. Yes. I actually make myself look at each one of these, because there's been a few times that I've removed some stuff that I didn't want to. But there are faster ways to do it. Okay. Okay, do this. Choose inventory. manifest file created 4920-5. 20-5. Alright. And then I'm going to go over and perturb it a bit. Touch. Shiny new file. TXT. Then we'll go back over to this one. Now it's perturbed and let's see, 20-5. Let's select this really quick so we don't forget it. So as soon as we run this next one, it's going to make a new one. I guess auditing the thing we just found. Yeah, dead integrity is verified. So we haven't populated the table with something new. Okay, where's the shiny new one? There it is. Unaudited. Now we select. Keep that 20-5, not the new one. Failed audit, file missing. I forget, did we delete it? I forget what we did there. No, we created a new one. Yeah. That's so weird. Why is it doing that? Let's see if we can find the log line. Oh my gosh. Fail. I really don't trust the search for this one. Searching inside the terminal with Rust Rover isn't really the best. Okay. Matches, file integrity. Newly added. Check if there are any audit failures. We added the file. Why would it do that? Did I get that right? Generate another new file. Let's get rid of all this other stuff. Yet another new file. Okay. Let's go back to the beginning, make sure I'm doing this right. This close to writing a unit test. Okay, 4920-8. Cool. Let's add a new file. New file.txt. And okay, we're going to want to check against 20-8. We have to wait though. The thing is like if you make a new manifest within the same minute, it'll just overwrite the previous one. I think that's what happened last time. Yeah, 8. We're on 9 now. We want 8. Audit. Complete. Data integrity compromised. Somehow this one's failing audit, like the file's missing, but it never existed in the first place. Like we open up 20-8. What was it called again? Shiny new file? Yeah, new file.txt. Yeah, it doesn't exist in here at all. That should be triggering our newly added thing. But somehow that's not happening. It's happening way before. So up here in audit, see, verification failed. Assessed integrity. Matching manifest integrity. Look up. Does that return a none? Yeah. That returns an option. Okay, for each inventoried file, we see if it's in the manifest. If the matching manifest entry is none, that doesn't mean that verification was failed. Doesn't exist in them, yeah. A little logical error there. If it exists in the manifest, so we assess the MD5 integrity. If it doesn't exist, file integrity defaults. No, that'll be none of that even. We take file integrity and we put it inside of the enum for verification failures. Added, newly added. Oh, this is kind of fun. I want to simplify these braces a bit so it's a bit easier to read. Newly added. Okay. I don't think we need this other part then. Nothing should be unverified after that. I'm gonna say if anything's unverified. Actually, no, we're gonna make this into a little collection here. I would make this an assertion, but we shouldn't crash, but there should be a warning. So if I see this coming up, like this should never happen. Sanity check. Nothing should be, not unverified, but unexamined, I think is a better word for it. Unexamined files. Instead of doing just a check here, this is just checking if there's any at all, but if there is one, I want to be able to print it out in the logs. So we're going to try to get a vector of it. Unexamined files equals locked inventoried files dot iter non-mutable dot filter found file dot integrity. Matches file integrity unverified. Okay, .collect, even though we haven't told you what to collect into yet. Iterator of found files. What a vector of references to found files. There we go. That will be our sanity check. This should be empty. If unexamined files dot is empty, I guess if it is unexamined files, a little exclamation point negates this, is empty, then we're gonna freak out a little bit with a warning. Encountered with the length in there too. Equals unexamined files dot length. Encountered. Unexamined count. I always break on new lines after I add a variable in a string, interpolated string. There we go. So this won't stop anything, and we won't notice it unless we're actually looking at the logs. But if later on we're adding some feature or we're fixing something, and we see like a warning in there that's like, hey, there's unexamined files and there shouldn't be, then we know something's up. And because this is being accomplished by up there, we can get rid of that because it's just totally busted. This is a fun track. Star.csv, delete, close. We are going to remove the new file.txt and run the program. Oh! Found file can't be formatted with the default formatter. No display for found file. I'm surprised I don't have one already. Whatever. Debug representation. We're probably never going to see it anyway. Willing to leave that be. Inventory completed. Now touch new file and do another inventory, but we're gonna want to keep 18. Select 18, open folder audit in progress. Come on, right here, give it to me. Uh-oh, I think it choked. Yep. Unexpected integrity state when only verified or verification failed was expected. Oh, did we remove that? Yeah. Assessed integrity. It's not a formatted string yet. make this consistent so we can see it. I know this repo has a huge line length problem, but we're not solving it today. Okay, we made 20. Touch. Inventory again. Select 20. Audit in progress. Data integrity verified. Still not happy about that, because we added new file between those two things, so it should register as such. Well, I'm sick of doing it manually. Let's just suck it up and make the unit test already. Can commit these though. Manifest creation status. Newly added. I'm still pretty satisfied with those changes, even though they're not working yet. It's going in the right direction. There are no unit tests in here. Test. I think we're doing, what is it? Test log to capture tracing output? Yeah, test log test. Use test log. Super. What is this? Audit directory inventory? Yeah. Audit directory inventory. Test, audit directory. Let's do the happy path first. We'll need that before we perturb it anyway. Make sure that it has a baseline for what's working correctly. Okay, and then I think I already have some helper functions made for generating fake file paths. Yeah, right here. Let's save that stub first. Go back over here, since this is going to be a more common test function. I'd like to put it in common. Yeah, test utilities. This is about to become a much more general thing. Apparently temp home imvar, we deleted that last time, but it's it's used as a unit test for the logging piece, which I just copy paste between all my projects. So if anyone's wondering why that's back, that's why. Okay, previous manifest. Generate. Generates here. Actually, can I do a magical refactor here? What does it move? G? I think it was like G and then whatever. Generate fake file paths. Yeah, and create fake files. Create fake MD5 hashes. Is that also? Oh wait, no. Fake inventory. Manifest files are ignored. Oh, okay, we already have it written, actually. Inventory integrity valid. And invalid. These things should move over to this other function, though. Or this other module. Native. It's no longer accurate. Integrity valid. Invalid. Swiftly finds directory contents. Test directory inventory. Test directory inventory. Yeah, this is finding audit discrepancies. Yeah, okay, only these first two unit tests really pertain to the inventory module. We need to move these over to audit. Inventory finds contents. Manifest files are ignored. Move the helper functions first, though. Oh wait, perform fake inventory can stay here. But create MD5s and create fake files. Generate fake file paths. Those can all move. Don't know if I'm getting that copy right. I'm confused. Fake file paths, fake files, MD5 hashes. Well, no, I'll leave it. Okay, perform fake inventory. Manifest files are ignored. That's part of this module. Finds contents. That's part of this module. Integrity invalid. Audit discrepancies. This is just finding contents. Perform fake inventory. Perturb a hash. Where does it actually do the audit? Bro. Please tell me it does what it says it does. Oh, I see. Manifest creation status. Do we return this? We don't return the manifest though. How can we actually check it? File paths, MD5 hashes. Yeah, because I believe that this manifest creation status in audit. Check librs. Yeah. Manifest creation status. Head up here. Add to this nasty tuple. This is test code, so whatever. Our community tax manifest creation status. All file exists, but one's MD5 hash has been perturbed. So we perform inventory, and we check the hashes. We wait until inventory is done. That doesn't make sense. Wait. Make our file paths, pass it in. Mess with one of these hashes. Yeah, let's drop this here so we can get a race condition. Because performing fake inventory, the inventorying happens on a different thread. So we need to wait for a second to make sure it has a chance to finish. Hash match failures. Check if the inventory was successful. Perturbed hash. Is it sad that it missed the perturbed hash? Hash match failures. push, check if they match. Existence checked, pre-perturbed. Okay, so this is actually a bit different. We can take this first part here. And use the audit check. So we want everything down. Instead of meshing with a hash, let's take that section. Check if it was successful. Yeah, test directory audits. All valid, we'll call it. Generate fake file paths. I don't know. Is that imported globally yet? Might not be closed. Mod tests. That is true. Yeah, I thought so. Has no return expression. Yes, I know. Show me the good stuff. Sample iter. Wow, that angered a number of things. Didn't even migrate it. Okay, where are we here? I gotta zoom out some. I'm getting lost in the output. It's too big. Oh. Features. Bench. We need some additional compilation for benchmarks and test code. Yeah, that's much better. Much more manageable. Not found in scope. Generate fake file paths. Let's go bring that into scope. Use create inventory. I'll make that public. It already is. Tests. That's right. Perform fake inventory, not found. import. That's okay. Test log test. Yeah, I guess that doesn't need an explicit import. We're doing it in the attribute. Standard time duration. Yeah. I think sleep is part of thread. Yep. Expected MD5s. Unused variables are okay. So if we do this, we form a fake inventory, and out of that, so what do we just do here? We just output the manifest path. Let's just move inside of SRC so we can do these easier. Audit common inventory. From fixture. Now we can check against it. Hey, thanks for the follow, Xylem. Welcome to the fam. Manifest creation status. We gotta lock that first. I can't wait to switch to a new data model so we don't have to do all the mutex locking and unlocking so much. Let's CRE creation status copy. Using magic because I want to be lazy. Manifest creation status. Where do we put that? I thought it was in super. Inside of audit. Oh, is it a GUI thing? No. Where are you? Common. Okay. As it should be. The most obvious answers evaded me again. Let's see. File path. being super lazy here. Bail. Because this should never happen anyway. Bail. Unexpected. Received from fixture. Manifest creation status. Missing our arrow there. There we go. Statement. We've got some type hints right here. So this should be a path buff, if I remember it correctly. Yeah, done path buff. So we get the done, pull out the path buff. Now we're gonna try and access it. I should set the title to ASMR coding. That could be pretty good. What happened if we turn on my heart rate though? How's that doing? Is it ASMR for me? Hey, 68. Not bad. I might do that. I could also turn off my noise canceling to get the clickety-clack of the keyboard too. Failed by 1. There's the observed subject. Once I see my heart rate on screen, then it goes up a little bit. I get more nervous, and it goes up higher and higher. Although, until last time, when I opened up the window a bit more, every time I went to 3 digits, like every time we got above like 100 and up, the last digit would fall off the edge of the screen. Okay, now we have the manifest path. I guess we'll have to use the CSV reader to look at it. That seems kind of gross though. Lines, iter. Well, even if we don't. Where's the load manifest? Load previous? Yeah, load previous manifest inside of audit on line 186. I think we can assume that this works. It's not tested. Should note to test that though. They're a little to do right here. Previous manifest. That'll give us a vector of found files. Okay, I'm cool with that. Let's bring it in. Let's note what we're actually doing here too. Ensure that audits against unperturbed files passes verified. guess. Unexpected clone drop. This needs to go up here, by the way. It's a bit of a sleep in the test setup. Assume that. Audit directory inventory. Passes against when run. Gonna do the happy path first, and then we'll make the failure case where a new file was added. Yeah. For now, let's make a thing that loads the manifest. Wait, we're gonna need to be doing this anyway. Yeah, let's pull this out of here. Actually, I'll stick it in here. We'll always need to do this. We might as well do it in the same function where this is happening. So this doesn't need... Oh, we never added it. Okay, so from audit, I'm gonna go here. Tests? No, this is a straight up function for load, was it? Guess it's private right now. It's kind of sad I have to make this public for a test. Oh well. Load previous manifest. Pug. Augers. Load previous manifest. Load previous manifest. Propagate. And the previous manifest is going to be a reference to a path buff. Manifest path, vector found files, loaded manifest. Instead of returning manifest creation status, we're going to return the loaded manifest, which will change the type signature of our function to a vector of found files. Let's flatten this out a bit. I like that. And what do we call it again? Capital H, Control B. We called it loaded manifest. Grave, capital H. Here we are. Not the most clear, but not bad. Sick. Don't need mutability there. In fact, I don't think we'll be using MD5 hashes at all. I'm here for the intentional / unintentional ASMR, if that's okay. No, you see, if you cave to the ASMR sounds and you're not totally wrapped by everything that's happening on the screen, the mods will kick you out. We're watching. We look through the webcam so we can find out. Yeah, it's good to have you. What'd you up to, skills? Perform fake inventory. Loaded manifest, perform fake inventory. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the fam. Okay, loaded manifest. Nice. So we're going to keep this around. We want to mess with one of these by adding a new one. Okay, so now we made our inventory, and now we want to make our audit. Audit directory inventory. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Inventory. So we need to run the inventory. We need to add a file. Oh wait, this time we're gonna do nothing. Directory inventory, inventoried files. So kind of like over here when we do run fake, is it? Perform fake inventory. Yeah, we want this kind of stuff. Do we want these variables though? Or can we just make new ones and be lazy? No, we can just be lazy. All these shared state variables. Okay, inventoried files. What's this again? Inventoried files. File paths. It's a bit inconsistent. Second argument is directory audit status. Was it? Yeah. Third is chosen manifest. Should be falling asleep but procrastinating. I'm clueless about game code but may pick it up by subconsciously listening. It's all good. Sleep is important though. So you wash your brain. This one's not a game though. This is actually forensic software for anti-human trafficking cases. So a bit different. Chosen manifest. Okay, this is where we use that other one. Gonna act like this is done and the path buff is wow. Jeez, thanks so much for the 10 sub skills. Wow, some lucky people. And a hype train has started. Oh, it is serious code. Game code serious too. Can't hear adverts. Can't hear them or can't bear them. And yeah, Commander Chaos and Luigi Marks, Mr. Master Senpai are definitely gonna love those subs too. You can hear now. Nice. Super cool. Yeah, ads are super annoying. Thank you so much though, it's awesome of you. Appreciate it. Manifest creation status. Yeah, we're gonna have to load this from... We don't need to load it at all, actually. Manifest org new text, manifest creation status. Fake inventory. Yeah. Creation status we passed through. We'll take ownership of that. Unaudited, that is accurate. Inventory status, well actually, let's see. Inventory status, directory audit status. Inventory status. Where are you defined? Inside of common. Publicly inside of common. There we go. Duration, instant, we pulled those in, right? Almost. Instant. Inventory status, directory audit status. Nope, the best viewers are already here. Directory audit status is in common. This is what turned out to be one gnarly little test. File paths. Inventory path we straight up don't need. File paths we need. Directory audit status we need. Audit directory. Chosen manifest. Still accessing the ARC. Need to worry ourselves with that. Yeah. Thanks, Skills, for the sub. Getting some love from Mr. Master. Yeah. Yeah, new emotes. In fact, Kingbot just made us a new batch of emotes that I haven't gotten around to adding yet either. I had them for like a week or two now. But they look really sick. Excited to bring them into chat. Oh, it's mad because of this. Yeah, that makes sense. These should be references. Okay, run the audit so we can test its output. And I guess our assertion would be, yeah, file paths. results. Call it thing, or I don't know what to call something. I just call it thing. I know what I want, but I don't know how to articulate it yet. Filter. Found file. Found file. Dot. Bro. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Gotta lock it before we can access it. Okay, drop the lock, clone the whole thing out, file paths, copy, found file dots, yeah, file integrity. Found file integrity. Everything should be some variant of verified and nothing else. I will accept nothing else. Because at this point, everything should have worked. We didn't mess with anything. File integrity. Can we get some type hinting Rust Rover, please? EFGHI. You say like not matches? If any unverified. Really, I want to say like if there's anything in here that's not this variant, like any of these others. Guess we can match that and use a catch-all. We don't want that, but if it's anything else, then we do want it. Failed the audit. Find all files that failed the audit, of which there should be none. Found files. we reference. Found file, iter. Collect audit failures. If audit failures isn't empty, just like the pattern we did earlier. If anything, if any files failed audit, fail, I guess. Not even an assertion here. Let's see, files failed audit. When none should have. None shall pass. Question mark, close brace. We'll just show audit failures. Otherwise, return OK. The test succeeded. This is the part where everything runs. Probably not. That one's fine. But this is not happy. Oh, this one wants a path buff. No. I'm tired of editing this function. No! Yes, it's inside the test. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it spits out a path buff. Okay, just manifest. Or it wants a path buff? What? Alright, let's go up to the top first. Arc, mutex. Okay, it's mad that I didn't import arcs and mutices. That should be a good bit of the warnings. Manifest creation status, auto result. Okay, so we actually need to wrap that out. After we're done, so after this thing's actually been run, we want to get the path to the manifest file that was created, right? Directory audit status, file paths. We'll do it right here. Exact the path to the manifest file that was by the inventory step. Locked manifest status. Locked unwrap. Looked manifest creation status. This is just unlocking the mutex so we can get the data that it holds. Creation status copy equals locked clone drop the lock. And then for the extraction, going to get manifest. Path equals manifest creation status, copy, match it. Manifest creation status. Done. File path. Return the file path. Ooh, this is one big unit test. But it's kind of the whole point of the program, so I don't feel too bad. Encountered unexpected manifest creation status and test setup. Creation status, copy, manifest, manifest. Heard it here first. Okay, we get our manifest file path, and I think that's what this one wants, right? Wait, what? What? Audit directory inventory. Expected option path buff, but got manifest creation status. Okay, option path buff. Archmutex option path buff. Alright, yeah, so we're acting like the user chose this manifest, which means that we need to make the arc on the fly. Manifest creation status. Oh, jeez. Okay. What's it called? It's the parameter name? Chosen manifest? Manifest file path. Act as if the user chose a manifest file that was just created. That should succeed for sure. Okay. Oops. Features bench for conditional compilation. Found file not found in this scope. That's why there's no type hinting. Haha. Clone exists, but its tree bounds are not satisfied. Etext guard found file. Tree bounds are not satisfied. Method cannot be called due to unsatisfied trace bounds. Poison error. Oh, gotta unwrap it. So we have access to our lock. Sweet. Alright, now we should be able to run this test. Test directory, audit all valid. So this is gonna be cargo. Oh, what's that? What's my next test thing? Yeah, next test run. I love next test, by the way. Very fast, very clean output. No capture. Yeah, run this. Features bench. As we've typed in the name of our test here, the test directory audit all valid, it's going to skip everything else. Load previous manifest. Yeah, we ended up using that. That's not necessary. Unused doc comments. Yeah, we don't want a doc string there. Does not generate documentation for statements. Thank you for letting me know. I love that about Rust. Manifest creation status copy is unused. Yeah, because we're not pulling it out in this part of the function anymore. That is okay. Let's run it again. Expected found file integrity. Yeah, found file dot file integrity. Failed. Encountered unexpected manifest creation status and setup not started. I think it's still verifying by the time it gets to that. Maybe a bit of a race condition. Okay, where'd my test go? I keep hitting some key combination that closes the file. It's still saved, but for a second it's like, okay, it's gone. Where's the thing I was working on? Not started. What is not started? Manifest creation status is not started. Manifest creation status not started. Should be right here. Well, wait, we inventoried, but we never did the manifest creation. Need to make sure that that happens. We performed the fake inventory. Now I need to do the equivalent for performing our audit with audit directory inventory. Didn't we use this somewhere? Not started. Unaudited, that is accurate. Oh my gosh. I'm getting mixed up now. Perform fake inventory. When we do that, it's going to make a manifest, which is stored in manifest creation status enum in the done variant. Let's just try upping the wait duration. One, 2, 3. Still fails. Still not started. Huh. Okay, we'll back it down to 1 second. We perform our fake inventory. Let's go over here and check on it. Manifest creation status. We come in, not started. That's how we want it. Or if we start this, we run inventory, and by the end of inventory, because inside of inventory directory, manifest creation status. Yep, we set it to not started here as well. So we have a full reset. Completion status. We go down. It's not made by this function, actually. It's called differently, probably in the GUI loop. Export, audit directory inventory. Inventory. It's probably the export CSV, which really isn't accurate anymore. We're not just exporting a CSV. Go away, go away. Control B. Oh, I see. This also. Export CSV is both the name of the module and the file within it. Export inventory, I think is what this should actually be called. To make that a bit more clear. Can we go and grab that really quick? Export inventory, export inventory, inventory. No, this is cherry picking our commit. So I only want to add that we did that little rename there. So if we need to back up, we'll be able to keep this part. There we go. So now if we look at our git status, we can see that we only have a few modified with little green ones. That means that that's been committed. And I have a special thing in here called DI staged. So I can look at what we have about to go into this commit, which is just renaming export CSV to export inventory. For clarity, push. Let that do its thing. So export inventory option F7 back to original thing. Where does this actually happen? Aha! We check if export prerequisites are met, and then we run export inventory with inventoried files. I see. Do we really have to, though? It's not even export inventory, actually, it's export manifest. I'm not gonna mess with that, though. Yeah, export manifest, export prerequisites met. No, we'll leave that alone. Export the manifest. Export the current inventory shown in the GUI table. To a fulsome CSV file. And then we need to load that file. Yeah, actually, we have to do it exactly the way we're doing it here. To have a faithful test. I think this is turning into an integration test, honestly. It's got enough stuff going on in it. That would go in the tests subdirectory of our thing. Like, should go here. There is an integration test in there, but it's very old. Yeah, this is back when we were just counting the file extensions. All that code's busted, which is why it's just commented out. But we're not going to be moving that tonight. That's a refactor for a different day. Chosen manifest, run the audit so we can test its output. Manifest file path. Wait. What is this doing then? Manifest creation status. Perform fake inventories. I was already doing it. Oh, yeah. Manifest creation status will be not done because nothing has been done. Yeah, so we just want to get rid of that, actually. That's totally useless having that there. Because it's Rust, I'm just going to count on it telling us that that variable is useless, and we'll have to go back and extract that from that function again. Instead of doing it now, so I don't lose my train of thought. Okay, chosen manifest. Manifest file path. I'm trying to find a place to put this. Manifest creation status. Okay, well, we'll use it here. I don't think we need to, but it'll be there. Inventoried files. Yeah, that's going to be file paths, isn't it? Yep. Manifest creation status will be manifest creation status and chosen inventory path. We don't really care about, honestly. Is there a test in here where we can see what? No, there isn't. Okay, so chosen inventory path. Should already be in there, actually. Chosen inventory path. Inventory start. I'm not even using that. Time taken. Inventory status. Whatever. It's so good now. I detected it's Rust and not JS in 3 seconds. I'm so good now. Hey, Race Peace Day. Welcome to the channel. I actually think that small victories like that are important. My code is convoluted enough though, and my variable names are huge enough that it does look pretty nasty like GS though, so I wouldn't blame you if you thought it was. I don't even know Rust, so I can't know if it's convoluted. Well, let's see, this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can just actually count. This one starts on character 43, it ends on character 43 and begins on character 13. So it's a 30 character variable name. I blame it on the memory model, actually. It's not my fault. It's because because I'm using mutices and I haven't moved over to channels yet. It's all the channel's fault. All the mutices' fault. Not my problem. All this locking and unlocking, that's to blame. Nothing to do with me at all. How you doing tonight? Still better than me naming variables. Export manifest. Comment? No, it's straight up out of export. File path, manifest creation status, inventory path, export file. Well, that's old. Yeah, file paths. That's still a good variable. Inventory path. User selected directory to examine. That's right. And this thing is expected to find. It's expected to find the things all by itself. So we'll have to find them too. Oh my gosh, okay, well, it won't be too bad. See, all of this is junk, actually. Yeah, these two go together. Manifest file path. We just have to go manually find it. Probably in the most cursed way possible. Something itterdeer. Chosen inventory path. Chosen inventory path. Yeah, we'll need to grab that too. Yeah, this one. Chosen inventory paths. And a test, please. There you are. Thank you. We'll need to get that somehow. File path is good. Manifest creation status is okay. Chosen inventory is what's gnarly. Chosen inventory path. There's only one way to get that. And I don't like it. Happens right here. Oh, this is gonna be so gross. Text option. Path buff. Chosen inventory path. Yes, I know. I know you're upset. What's the difference variables starting from capital letter versus lowercase? I think they'll be recognized as different variables. Honestly, I just don't do it, so I don't know. We can find out. Big old nasty tuple. Like this little strings intro in the song. We'll try it in a second. Once I get this in. Okay, let's see. So you're thinking like what happens if it's capital? Let some var equals vec. Say we make an empty vector like that with a lowercase. I'm pretty sure that if we do let some, if we try to access it, some var like that, right? Or say like a snake case. Like we're doing Java or something. It's preference. I think that most languages though, like Python and Rust like this. But snake case, you'll notice, comes up with certain things. Like these are variables with the lits. That's like doing assignment. If we go over here to common, we have a struct, which is camel case. Not snake case, camel case. Enums are also camel case. Every letter is capitalized with no underscores. In React, foo-bars for JSX components are classes, not class instances in JS. Yeah. I used to do some React. Not anymore. Okay, export. Alright, what we're doing audit. This all valid. Chosen inventory path. We'll be getting that back. So now we can dump it into this one. Should already be found. Yes. Now, if we look inside of NSS files, let's unlock it first. Yeah, this is definitely an integration test. No autocomplete's kind of disconcerting. Drop the lock. Close manifest files. The code's not object-oriented programming? Nope. It's a functional language. A lot of people will use structs, like, say if we go back over to common, I'll give you an example. Let's see, these are enums. This is a struct. This one used to have an implementation on it. Let's see, oh, wait, there we go. Okay, so for here, for example, we have our found file struct, which we use like everywhere in this program. It has the file path, MD5 hash, and its integrity. And the integrity itself is actually an enum, so we have an enum inside of the struct. Here's some more information about it, which is kind of cool. Anyway, back to the implement. So we have found file here. So if we do an impl found file, then we can add a method called new. So now if we make a new instance of found file, we can do found file, you know, .new, or in this case, let's say we wanted to use this new function here, because usually there's like a shorthand. Say I wanted to make let new thing equals found file, and then let's see, file path. Well, let's say if we let file path equals path buff. Oh, come on, do I have to import all that stuff? Okay. Yeah, use std path. Get this all looking right for you. Let's say we did that. New thing. Why is this mad? Divine multiple times. Yeah, suck it up. Doing an example. So if we did that, and let's see, it wants an MD5 hash, so we'll do some MD5 hash dot to string, like that. And then the third thing that it wants is the file integrity, so we do file integrity verified, or something like that, right? So this is a shorthand for instantiating a struct. So if we just had found file here without this new implementation on it, then this is how we can make a new found file instance, basically, right? But whenever we look at pathbuff here, which is kind of like a found file, since it's also a struct, it has this new implementation. This is a common pattern here, where instead of doing all of this, we can have special ways to bring it in. Like, I don't think I'm doing anything too special here. I guess I'm doing file integrity default. Yeah, file integrity default. So to make a new thing, the struct has 3 fields, but we only need to define 2 of them. So instead of doing this, it turns into let new thing equals found file new. We do pathbuff new. And the second one is MD5 hash, which was this thing here. And these things would be equivalent. So this looks a lot more prettier than, you know, this one here looks a lot prettier than this. This is a bit simpler, but once you have more than 2 or 3 fields, or if you have like a file integrity of, you know, default here, for the default case of file integrity, we assume, I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, default is unverified because we haven't audited anything yet. It's kind of nice. Does it automatically for us. Does that make sense? So it can get oopy, and some of my least favorite Rust code on the planet was written in the long shadow of OOP, where they're trying to make a functional language bend over backwards to behave like Java or like OOP, and they have these layers and layers of structs, and especially there's things called traits, where like we had this implementation here that has new. You can also enforce a trait and say that if you make a new struct, you can add whatever you want to it, but it has to have something like, you know, gray, or, you know, say gray, and then we have another one here called white, like that. You can make a trait that says you have to have gray and white whenever you make a new struct that's based off of found file. So you can use that to get kind of oopy. But the cool thing about Rust is that since it is opinionated, it kind of wants you to not do that. And by not doing that, whenever you're writing your code or you're looking at someone else's code, there's kind of a right way to do things, like a common way that we do things. And because of that, you can grok it a lot faster. Like partial classes in TypeScript or something. Still learning it. Don't completely understand TypeScript. I think that I understand TypeScript sometimes, and then really, TypeScript has just understood me, and that's all that's happened. I know nothing. Yeah. You can tell JavaScript and I really don't get along. Partial types, that sounds familiar, though. There is a thing in here called the new type pattern. That's very cool. But that's a story for another day. We're going to iterate through this directory. Chosen directory path dot iter dir. I forget how to do this, honestly. I don't know if we need to bring in walk dir to make this happen. Iter dir. Iterate. Yeah, this is the walk directory. Hi Brooke, what are you building? Hey James, we're working on anti-human trafficking software, which I would show you a demo of right now. Well, actually, no, it will compile because it'll run around test code. Let me see if this compiles. I'll show you. Not quite, because this thing is mod tests. This should be configured out. Bro. It's messing up the parser, so we can't even get to that. Alright, there we go. Since I've done this for a while, I'll go ahead and run through this again. This is Folsom. This is used whenever you're trading around chunks of files between, say, evidence, prosecutors and investigators. Every time it changes hands, you have to preserve a chain of custody. You have to be able to say, like, did you mess with it? Have you perturbed any of the evidence? Where was it at this point in time? Kind of like, say, in a good physical analogy. It'd say, like, you're in a murder trial, and someone says, like, here's a knife. Someone walks into court and they hold up the knife, say, this is the knife that so-and-so used to stab someone else. Well, everyone gets a right to a strong legal defense, and the other lawyer is going to immediately be like, well, how do we know you didn't just pull that knife out of your pocket? And look, you're touching, you got your fingerprints all over it. Maybe that's your knife. Maybe you did it, for all we know. So this is a way of keeping track of, like, what stuff we have, inventory, and then fingerprinting it so we know if it's been messed with. So we can choose a folder. So we choose a thing here. We say, yes, we want to do that one. We inventory it. And in 3,186 milliseconds, we inventoried 5,332 files. And here they are. And there's an MD5, there's a hashing algorithm called MD5 that we use to kind of get a fingerprint of it. You can't reverse engineer the content of the file from this, but if you change the file even a little bit, this whole thing is going to change. Whee! Then there's a file path here. Then we perform an audit where we can go in and we can select these manifest files like this one. Select it, it'll ingest it, and then over here it'll say, like, this file didn't exist before. This file does exist. This file exists, but someone's touched it because the hash is different. That's basically what it does. This saves people tons and tons of time. It seems a bit trivial and kind of like, okay, that's super lame, but it's the simple stuff like this that makes a huge difference. Because this thing, like, I think it's less than 5 megabytes I've gotten down the binary size to. It runs on Mac, it runs on Windows, it runs on Linux, runs everywhere, requires no memory, basically, very little CPU. And it's very simple to use. It does one thing and it does it well. And yeah, that's the jam. Unless there's stuff like foobar baz, though, because it's probably rare cases where I need, like, for some third-party API that is JS. Gotcha. Interesting. I already have some TypeScript API. Does it use AI or not? Nope, no AI usage. I love AI technologies, and they're very cool, but the fact is that government isn't really the place for next-gen technologies, and things are changing now, and I'm excited to bring those technologies to those places. But you need to have a modern server, you need to have, you need to be able to surmount bureaucratic hurdles. There's a lot that needs to happen in order to make that actually happen. Dead Egos, hey, I love what you're doing. Something real software, respect. Thanks. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, well, it's deeply meaningful for me. And right now I'm trying to write a test because at the moment it'll find things whenever someone's messed with software, if someone's like deleted a file, or if a folder has been perturbed, has been messed with, if a file has been messed with. But we don't know what happens whenever a new file has been added. So I added a thing where it's supposed to be like, oh my gosh, new file appeared, but it actually shows it as it failed. And we kind of did it manually a few times, like I was just showing you us manually clicking it, but that was a giant pain. So now we're making a giant, massive integration test that does all of those steps, and then we're going to run it and try to get it to fail, and then we'll fix it. And once the test passed, we know that we're good. Thanks for the follow, Dead Eagles. Welcome to the fam. Thank you for dropping in. Now, is Itter Deer? What's the UI layer? It's an immediate mode GUI called eGUI. Hey, thanks for the follow, Locks. Lockx Home. Lockx Home, yeah. So it's kind of like two-factor authentication, or maybe more than two. No, that's authentication. This is more like, I guess maybe what you're trying to say is that it's like two ways of verifying the file, that it is present and that it hasn't been messed with. If that's your interpretation, then that is correct. But 2FA is a bit different. And back to Dead Egos with the UI layer. It's called eGUI, and it is very simple. It is hilariously simple. It doesn't look pretty. As you saw, it doesn't look like much. I think some of my best feedback from users has been, well, it looks fast. Because whenever you download something like that online, say to like open a port on your router or something, you're like, oh yeah, that thing's gonna be cooking with gas, right? Yeah, I think I found, actually, I should note over here what it is. Let me put in the site. This is open source, so if you want to, you can actually go download this and try it right now. It won't be the current version that we're on, because we're working on it, but you'll be able to get the most previous version. A while ago, we made a sweet little download button, or at least ChatGPT made a sweet download button. Let me pin this in Twitch. How's the compatibility with GDK? It actually doesn't use GTK. All of them, like, we're almost, I don't know how into it you want to get, but with Windows, we need GNU tools, but I think that's pretty well available now. We need the same on Linux because there's a lot of Wayland dependencies and stuff for GUIs and things. It's a lot. There are some builds of this that work sometimes with Windows MSVC, but it's not quite there yet. And then for, let's see, what was Windows, and then for Mac, it just works straight up. So I could have gotten a much prettier or much easier GUI, or one that's like less resource intensive or whatever, or I could have put TypeScript on the front, but I really tried to make it so you literally need 0 dependencies to install this. Like if you click on that link, you go over and like you download it, it should basically just open. It might give you like a scary malware pop-up, because we're still working on signing. Wait, on a Mac, you won't get the pop-up, but on Windows, I haven't paid the fine. Microsoft wants, it used to be about $1,100, but now it's down to like $100 for this new pilot program I want to try. So yeah, no compatibility. It does use native file pickers, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's its own thing. It's a vibe. Not even FLTK. If we were in C, I would have done FLTK, but this is a pure Rust application. I started my learning with Rust and Linux, thus I started to dig into GTK, etc. Nice. Yeah, I like GDK. It's good. I very nearly... Actually, there was an early version of this that used GTK as the front end. It's more of an experiment. But it was good. There we go. Oops. I just pinned the thing and then unpinned it. Not the easiest to use. Oh, Linux or Rust? Thanks for the follow, Ihor. Iorberg. I'm so scared that it's an op trying to get me to say something inappropriate. IH. I'm gonna call you IH. GDK. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot. A lot of the callbacks and stuff, and you know, I'm not really a UI programmer. The website for this, Trafficking Free Tomorrow and Folsom site, is largely made off of templates. We've done quite a bit of editing on this channel to make them different, but doing it from the ground up, it's not my jam. At the same time, I'm not gonna like force my users to be like, okay, you know, CLI or bust. Because by adding some kind of GUI, everyone can use it. Everyone can have it. Now what are we doing here with this iter do? Can we just iter? Is that a thing? Wish we had some type hints. Come on, tell me you love me. Manifest file path. Yeah, it's not gonna be that. Found manifest files. Manifest file path. Equals something. I'm a web dev of 25 years and I started in Flash. I'm on my way in the browser, but the desktop's a whole other level of crazy. Currently live in Elixir. Alright. Yeah, Flash was fun though. I still miss Flash. It was so easy. And they got rid of it. I was pretty sad. I mean, it was good for, you know, the greater security context and everything, but oh, it was so good. Even PHP. I mean, I still like just static sites. A bit like the one that links out to Folsom and stuff, but like interactive static sites, I just render the template, spit it out. UI API is one of the best IMO. Yeah, there's a GUI framework. I didn't end up going with it because it's called Iced, which took a lot of inspiration from what's the other one? Elm and Elixir. Really interesting. I just can't handle like the callbacks and stuff though. It messes with my brain too much. I don't like it. So instead, we're using eGUI, which refreshes like as fast as the screen lets it to, basically. So it's like thousands of times a second. And even the author too is like, this thing isn't optimized at all, but unoptimized. It takes up fewer CPU cycles than like the browser because it's Rust, which is totally insane, right? I don't know if it's still doing that. I haven't profiled the CPU right now. I'm just worried about, you know, if it's getting epically slow. And a lot of that's just going to be async stuff that we need to get to at some point with file access, but for now, it's not my problem. Yeah, UI API does look sick, though. If I were a UI person, I think Elixir would be near the top of my list. Lots of positions up for it now, too, I noticed. Elixir devs. Anyway, what are we doing here? We're doing like found manifest files. Can we just iter on a path buff? I need to look this up. Your streamer has forgotten how to access things. No, not that kind of iter. Dude, I don't even know. sheet. Update available? No. Oh, that's right. Yeah, what am I talking about? Iter. Thanks for the follow, Range. So what's the core business logic of the app? Like, how does it fight human trafficking? This mostly reduces time, because right now they have to go in, I think inside of, on Windows machines, there might be a button that's like export data or something cursed like that, where you can export the contents of a directory. So to be able to do this, even without the hashing, just like going through and seeing like what is in the directory, a lot of times they end up just manually dragging and dropping each and every file and sorting into, like, you know, this one is this type of file, this one's that type of file, this one's that type of file, this one was missing, this one wasn't missing, that kind of thing. So this is like a giant pile of work that, not just in human trafficking, but also in public defender's office, defense case. Basically every legal case ever can use this, but especially for human trafficking cases, something unique about them is that they have a lot of data. It's a lot of people. A lot of times it's younger people who have very big social media presences. There's a lot of stuff, and government is always the most equipped to go through all that. So this tries to kind of speed that up. It's not the whole problem, but a lot of them came to me and they're like, if you can do this, then you would just free up like another 15-20% of my total work week. So it's mostly just freeing up time. There's more interesting stuff like going through and looking at parsing communications data that I really want to get to, but that's a whole other can of worms. And whenever I first started this, at first it was just like, hey, can we just have something that just summarizes what's in a directory? I just go through and count all the file extensions, and that's all this did. It would be like, oh, there's 50 PDFs, there's 3 Excel sheets, there's 20 INI files, whatever. Not even what the paths are, no verification, nothing. But as I put that out and just like, shipped crap early is kind of my motto for this, then we'd be able to iterate on that. Now it's kind of turned into this thing, which that's why it's called Folsom, like it summarizes the contents of a folder. Now it doesn't really do that anymore, but the name's kind of cool, so we kept it. And I put a lot of time into the logo. Well, I don't know, mid-Germany, you put a lot of time into the logo. I put a lot of time into drawing the vector art, so it looks nice on high-res displays, but yeah. Not very exciting, but very useful. And I secretly believe that is the boring tools that have the most impact, actually. And then we'll get to the hot AI stuff, and it'll get really interesting. Thank you. Yeah, my pleasure. My ultimate pleasure. And now, read dear, which we'll go through this dot read unwrap. Oh, we have to get this to a copy. Chosen Android path copy, because I'm just paranoid about these locks. I can't wait for channels. I can't wait. Unwrap read dear. Do we need to unwrap it? Oh, because it's a sum. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Unwrap read dear. That's cool. Unwrap read dear. Iter? Was it? Okay, now we're iterating over the contents of the chosen directory path. What does read dear return? Results with fs read dear. Oh, how do we get it into a thing? I was just doing this. Yeah, filter map result okay. That's right. Result okay. I think we'll start here. This is all technically on one line, but we're going to start chaining together our filters and stuff under it so it's easier for, at least I think it's easier to visually parse. And then found entry, directory entry. And I think there's any developers who are listening right now hear what I just described are probably like, why don't you use grep for that? Like, that could be a bash script, that could be done. Well, that's great if you know how to code, you know how to work this thing here. This thing's really powerful. But if you don't know that, then it's unavailable to you. Filter directory entry. Let's get the name out of it first. What's that, Powerline? Yeah, Powerline 10K, Z Shell. And I'm using a bunch of Rust alternatives too, like for LS we use EXA instead of grep, which is a bit smaller. Say we like grep, I don't know, something. It takes a while. Wow, this is just hanging. Jeez. So that's multi-core grep. Instead, rip grep, RG, something. Done. Because it's written in Rust. Yep, good old Vim. Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in there. How did I get into programming? Well, I'm a survivor of sex trafficking. I was trafficked in college. Before that, I was set to become a lawyer. And after that, after I escaped, I became very interested in volunteering for law enforcement. And I got good enough at it there that some very interesting people offered me a job. And that's how I started coding. And since then, I've had this long-term thing where I've always been working on this. Trying to make something that could, something that could catch the person who was holding me. Found manifest files. Entry dot. Name. How old are you, by the way? Sounds like a very interesting life. Yeah, it's been a time. But L80 never tells. My soul is timeless. Directory entry. And yeah, I've definitely had a lot of life in the short time I've been alive. Much has happened. And I would do it all again. Directory entry. I feel like... Okay, what is this directory entry that's giving us? I know a thing or two about living multiple lives. I'm working on my 4th ATM. Huh? I look forward to watching you. Thank you for streaming. Yeah, sure thing, Range. Thanks for the channel. Alright, thanks for joining the channel. If you're heading off, it was good to see you and good talking to you, and hope you sleep well. Or if you want to stick around, it's all good too. At the moment, I was homeless as a kid. Wow. That's really hard. I've never experienced being without a home. How does that make it your 4th life at the moment? I was a runaway. Wow. How you doing today? Expect entry.path. this way I think it should be written, and we'll see what the compiler says, because I'm not getting any help from Rust Rover right now. Directory entry, I think we already filtered out the OK, so we want the entry. I think we want this as toString collect. No. I think it's going to be directory entry dot to path dot file dot name dot file name. And I think it's path dot file name and entry name dot contains our extension see if we can get that to rock. I don't think it'll compile, but you know, buff. Let's do that so it compiles. I'm 43, been with my wife for 25 years and have 3 kids who are 2 grown adults. That's awesome. Again, I'm working on my 4th life. Did you see my multi-core question above? Let me see. One of the reasons I wanted to learn Rust is that you saw it adopted the actor model, i.e. multi-threading pre-process. I love this in Elixir as I can just up in isolated process per in files and a given folder to process in parallel. Have you dug into that recently, or are you mostly single threaded? So for quite a few of these, like for export CSV, right here we launch a separate thread. We're not really managing thread pools or anything cool like that yet, though. It's just extremely simple. Inside of inventory, let me see. There's a thread launch up here, I believe. Yeah, this one spawns a new thread too. And the GUI runs on its own thread as well. Much of what I want to get to, and what I'm hoping my next thing, I want to optimize the performance of this so badly, and it takes every fiber of my being to resist. Because I know that my users don't care. They can do 10,000 files in, a few seconds, and right now it takes them like a few hours. So I'm hoping that it'll get slow enough where they're like, make it go faster, and I'll be like, okay, and I'll come back like it is now 2,500% faster. Because like you're saying, there is a particularly good library called Rayon, which I think should let us just launch a ton of threads and have this done like instantly, basically. Yeah, lazy flow. Yeah, in Elixir we go as far as making a thread per row in a CSV. Yeah, I'm a little sketched out by launching that many threads, so I'm more interested in doing thread pools. Like say I have a pool of 8 or 9 threads and then have a series of channels with a queue and kind of make my own internal pub sub system. Because right now all this mutex locking and unlocking is just killing me anyway. I also want to change that, but I've gotten away with it for so long. Alright, file name ends with... Alright, let's see what's up here. What's going on? Remad, yeah, the read deer stuff, result okay. Acquired by bound, type mismatch, instance unused, path buff not found in scope, whatever. Type mismatch expected due to this. Expected and read deer, found and results. Yeah, you have a more raw threaded. I mean, green threads that by Elixir are already managed by Napool. This, yeah, it's open source. Yeah, if you go to the thing that's pinned, and if you're on Twitch, just go to folsom.goingforbrooke.com, and up in the top right, if you click on repo, it'll take you to the code. So I get your take. Gotcha. Standard library in Elixir already has a whole supervision tree for each isolated process. That's cool. It's especially cool if that's like the right way to do something too. It's like the only way. I like that opinionation in code, in languages. Their motto is "Let it crash." Can we do this? Not really. Into iter results. Okay, now we're getting our type hints though. Yeah, implement iterator, dir entry, reference to a directory entry. Yeah, I think we got that thing. Did we get that perfectly? Did that seriously work? Yeah. Wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, hold on, I gotta focus. I'm getting mixed up. Don't know where I am in the code anymore. Yeah, that's a walk deer. Let's see, read deer, IO results. This is already an iterator. Let's just break this down to a loop. It's really causing trouble. Matter of fact, I just made something yesterday that did it this way. Wrote 120,000 rows from JSON files in less than 10 seconds. That's cool. Found entry in this. Get rid of these. Mutable manifest files. I'm gonna code for a little bit and I'll get back to getting too chatty. Dot push dir entry. Dot path maybe. I think that'll freak out. That's okay. Entry not in scope. Directory entry not found. Do we want the path buff though? Yeah, we do actually. So let's bring that in. I see your messages coming in, but I've got to code a little bit. I'm getting lost in the code. Dir entry not found. We just need to find this one file. Path, no method named path for dir entry. Choose an inventory path to unwrap. Read dir. We can do that. Directory entry dot path handles that result while we were doing that earlier. Option path buff found in mutex vec option path buff. Okay, well, we're getting close. Somehow instant fell out of favor. I think that was part of the shared state things that we just kind of blindly put in earlier and ended up not needing. As well as these. File name is a method, not a field. Ah! Yikes. Yikes. Nice, nice. I like that we're getting that error. Okay, expected path buff found. Directory error. Entry outlet found. Entry equals this. Entry file name and we do path. Bring out the path. A lot of variables. Path entry file name. And contains method not found in OS string to string. Yeah, unwrap to string lossy to string. Nice, nice. That's what we want to see. Now for this one, we're getting the vector for what chosen manifest. Manifest file path. Yeah, manifest file path. Found manifest files dot first. It's gonna assume that there's one there that was found. I think that's a safe assumption. I'll write it down though. Assume that one manifest file was created. Our commutex option. This is a pathbuff reference. Yeah, because first is getting a reference, isn't it? Yeah, and T. Can I do this? Doesn't implement copy. Gotcha. Nice, nice, nice. We love this. Inventory. This is not used. That is correct. File paths is not used by that test. Is it? Okay, that's a good bit of progress. I'll catch up. Did you go for a CS degree? I only learned about one stack on the heap after digging into Rust. No, I was actually getting a poli-sci degree at the time. I wanted to go to law school. I assume you got good with ownership at this point, being fluid in Rust. Sometimes I think I have ownership, and then I find out that ownership owns me. So ownership is humbling. I can get it to do what I want it to do most of the time, but sometimes it still gets me, especially whenever we're in really memory-constrained programs, and I have to deal with a lot of lifetimes. It gets insane. No worries, sorry. Yeah, no problem. Given this is in a loop, given this is in a loop, should you allocate outside the loop and reuse inside? Maybe, but it's just test code. I just want it to run. All of this my user doesn't care about. This is to make my life easier, and I would have preferred to have it done a little while ago. It's taken a lot longer than I thought it would, so just moving toward a working thing. Yeah, these are the test cases. This is turning out to be our integration test that does everything in the program, which is why it's kind of a lot. Let me see, file paths unused. Yeah, we don't need to make a new one. Directory audit status. Yeah, we can make one of those. That's fine. Doesn't really matter that we're reusing that variable, but now our things are cleared, so now we should be able to do a next test run. Test discovery, audit all valid, right? Audit all valid. Execute. Please pass. Nope. Start recursing through. No such file or directory. Failed to create export file. Not found. We didn't give it an export path. Not found. At 5857. Create export path. Not found. Of course it's not found. It doesn't exist yet. I'll keep doing the good. I hope someday I get to make something that actually helps people, not just some CEO. Hey, it helps you. Have a good night. I'll keep a lookout for your streams. Thanks, Dead Egos. It's been good chatting with you. I hope you get the rest that you need to wake up tomorrow and be more of the awesome person that you were today. Start recursing through. Failed to create a CSV export file. Not found. No such file or directory. Okay, so the directory that we're trying to make it inside of doesn't actually exist by the time we get to this code. Now we're using temporary directories, so it might be that it's being cleaned up before we can actually get there and run the export. Yeah, like back over here for perform fake inventory. Yeah, we only keep around the temp dir handle until it's done, and then we drop it. That's so lame. Okay, we'll make a new one manually. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna do this really quick. Does the import look like this? Woo! No, thank you. Use temp file, temp dir. Okay. Use temp file. And yeah, this code is pretty gross and a lot of it's not optimized, and even the test code's kind of over the top, but at the same time, I've learned not to get attached to too much code because I've deleted about half this project like 3 times now. So once we get, yeah, range. Yeah, once we get something solid, we can go back and we can optimize and make it beautiful. Now with this export results, yeah, export manifest, file path, file creation status, user selected directory to examine. We should note in this. Wait. I have a heavy, I think I want to paste something. Yeah, we'll keep that around. I want to go over here and note though inside of export CSV, which is really export manifest, that this inventory path, the user selected directory, how about directory that the user selected for inventory, into which, well, it's period, export file, will be placed inside of this directory. Yeah. We love that. Now for chosen inventory path, where do we get that? It comes out of here. Oh well. Make an ephemeral place to dump the export file. Make an ephemeral place to dump the export file because perform fake inventory. Cleans up the real one. And if I really had to be honest here, I'd be like, and I'm too lazy I'm too lazy to go in and make a switch to turn it off, so we're just gonna make an empty directory for this to go in. Ephemeral export dir, and we'll replace it with this. Oh, I have to make a new one though. Hey, thanks for the follow, Tan. Welcome to the fam. Let's choose an inventory path. We'll just override it. Arc, new, mutex, new. Is it a sum? Is this an option? I think it's an option. Inventory path. Yep, option. Sum. Ephemeral export directory. Okay. Just an inventory path is there. We do that. And then we lock it again. Pull it back out. Drop it. We take the copy. We search inside of it for our manifest. And then we verify against it. Yeah, we do file paths, which has been loaded by the initial inventory run. The directory audit status. The chosen manifest. Let's see, manifest file path. Yeah, that is correct. Ah! Anti-human trafficking? Yeah. Yeah, I was just explaining it pretty recently, so I'll give you a quick summary, but, let's see how long. See, it runs. We're just doing test code right now. We're doing unit tests, so we can automate this. And what we're trying to automate is the process of, say you're an investigator, you're a prosecutor, you get a thing, you see what's in it. You can choose a folder. Yep. Inventory it. Here's all the files, here are all the hashes. We just summarized everything in 5,300 files in 22,000, so almost 3 seconds. And then we export it to a CSV file. Now we can select that CSV file. Okay. Starts the audit. And over here, unaudited to... Well, that's the part that's busted anyway. But yeah, that's basically how it works. This should show if anything has been messed with or if there's a new file or an old file. Like if an old file has been either messed with or removed, or if a new file has been added that we haven't seen before. Because every time evidence or discovery changes hands, you have to be able to account for that. Right now they do it manually, so this is going to save those people hundreds of thousands of hours so they can do other things. Really boring, but useful. Once we have this down, we can get to the really fun stuff. Alright, audit failures. Now, where was I? Argo. Yeah, that test run. Temp dir isn't found. Haha. That's right. Not temp file, but temp dir. Temp dir from the temp file crate. Clone can't be called. On mutex guard. It tells me that I didn't make that correctly. Let's go check up on how perform fake inventory does it. These should match. Arc knew some. Nope, they make exactly the same way. We're doing it right. Okay. Okay, lock. Does it take a reference to it? Is that a thing? Option found arc mutex option path buff arc mutex option temptier. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's what's going on there. Wait, is it? Yeah, we do need to do the reference. Lock the reference. Oh boy, where is everything? Okay, yep, reference is back. Cool. But now I wonder if we can actually add it. Let's make this, no, this is not a directory, but a temptier. And we just want our little temptier friend's path to path buff. And we'll explicitly drop ephemeral export temptier after we've already read from it. Whenever this drop happens, this is where, like implicitly in Rust, like say like this one right here is being, well, no, that one's not actually assigning a variable. Whenever you come to the end of a brace like this, it automatically drops stuff, but you can actually add a drop implementation to something to tell it to like, do it explicitly. Or just do drop and just tell it to kind of clear it from memory. Here, you usually don't have to do this, but since this is a temptier, and this variable is bound to the temporary directory that it makes, as soon as this goes out of scope, or as soon as we tell it to drop this, and then it deletes the directory for us, which is nice because whenever we run this test, we might run like 100 of these in parallel. Excuse me. Oh boy, clone. Value move due to this call. Cannot move out of dereference. Oh, I don't think we locked it. No, it's locked. Locked chosen inventory path to clone. That's freaking out. Because we added that. Chosen inventory path is unused. I thought we used it for something else. My strength is waning. Arc new some temperature path to path buff. As ref to borrow contents. I'm up for that. Type must be known. Oh my goodness. We must have done something wrong here because this is not... I should not be freaking out like this. Let's move this out of here instead of changing everything else. I think this is the culprit. Unexpected token. Ah, yes. It's true. Brooke equals adorable. Aw, thank you. Chosen inventory path copy. Moved. Chosen inventory path copy. Can move out of dereference. Oh, okay, so we can just clone it. That's fine. I don't care. It's test code. Clone everything. Value moved. Can't move out of dereference mutex guard. Chosen inventory path copy to unwrap. Read dear. Oh, come on, we're so close. It's so close. We can do this. Directory entry and chosen inventory path copy. Why is there even an unwrap there anyway? Can we just get rid of it? I wish we had type in so I knew what the heck was going on. Yeah, mutex guard? No, we should not have that. Yeah, there should be no mutex guard there. Okay, let's back up to this. Expect to unwrap the path buff value. And read here. For option. Gotcha. Yeah, we gotta get out of the option first. That's why that unwraps there. I see unwrap and I think error. I never think it might be an option. Okay, cool. Now it's running, but we're getting fails. Environment variable not found. No such file or directory with the export again. Again, our ephemeral export temp deer doesn't actually exist. Wow, one. Brooke looks beautiful. Aw, thanks, Dusky. Hopefully I'll be sleeping beautiful pretty soon. Just one more line of code. Just one more game. Just one more. check on something really quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, honestly, I'm dead. So no more human trafficking. When the software is ready? No, it's a much bigger problem than that. And I also hold some skepticism that human problems can be solved completely by technical solutions alone. It's gonna take a lot more work and a lot longer of a fight. But this will help. They said tech girls aren't hot. I mean, hi. Hey, Concrete, good to see you. How you been? I think tech girls are hot. Oh. I've been great. How are you? I've been really good. Quite nice. Just hooked up a new camera. It took a bit to get it working at the beginning of the stream, but now I'm coming to you in 60 frames. That's been exciting. Yeah. This nonprofit has really been taking off lately. Trying to get more users, more interest. Yeah, I'm really excited to ship this. It's the dumbest little piece of software, but what's dumb to me, like my users are like, wow, that's so cool. And I believe it too. At first I was kind of like, okay, yeah, we'll see. But now I'm showing to them, they're like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. I wonder if we have it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, the excitement from them is kind of leaking over to me. Wow, though, I am dead though. I gotta go. Yeah, I'm gonna go die. Thank you everyone for tuning in tonight for Coding with Brooke on a Wednesday night. I'm gonna go do my little wind down thing. I don't like Java. Scala is pretty cool. You can do some cool stuff with Scala and Apache Spark for some big data stuff. But, not my first love. And especially like doing this in a cross-platform way, I could definitely do that, but I do not want to deal with the JVM. I don't want to deal with users where I have to be like, oh, you need like the specific JVM version. I don't want to deal with XMS settings for heap allocation and crappy garbage collection that gets out of control, and I don't know. I have JVM PTSD. All right, have a good night. Goodbye. And my usual sign off is, I hope that you get the rest that you need tonight to wake up tomorrow and be more of the awesome person that you were today. Except if I know there's a lot of European people in chat. And if you're just starting your day, then I hope you have a cool day. Anyway, bye-bye. Good to see you, Concrete. Good night, Dusky. Oh. Good night, Range. Good night, Brilliant. Good night, yeah, Brilliant 150. Oh, I should thank our new followers, too. Got a bunch this stream. Design DJ, Xylem X1, Skills 247, who then started a level 3 hype train and gifted 10 other subscriptions to other people in the chat, including Mr. Master Senpai, and I think Concrete got one too. Thank you to Dead Egos, Locks Home, iHorror, and Range Bomber, and 10 Bulking, also for subscribing. Have a good night, everybody.